Hey guys, Curtis with Wander with the Workmans here, and we have another campsite review for you. Today, we're going to be talking about Percha Dam State Park in New Mexico. Now, first of all, we're doing this in front of the big blank map of doom. I would have liked to have recorded this video outside, but spring. In terms of finding Percha Dam State Park on the map, it is about 20 miles south of Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, near Arrey, New Mexico. Now let's talk about the logistics of this campsite to start off. The first thing to mention is that every single campsite in this park is a pull-through site. That includes their primitive campsites as well. Now something to note here about that is that when you pull into the park, you will see a sign that says campsites one way, developed campsites another way. In this park, developed campsite ironically means no hookups whatsoever. I found that to be slightly confusing, but once I investigated the park, it became clear what they were trying to communicate. If you want hookups of any sort, go to the campsites. If you want a boondock, go to the developed campsites. Now, in terms of these pull-through sites, they're very spacious. They include a picnic pavilion and some type of fire ring and some type of barbecue fire pit as well, the pedestal ones with the grates, that kind of thing, as well as a campfire pit. So they're very nice in that respect. Half of the park is by reservation, and the other half is first come, first serve. Now, you can use in New Mexico State Parks reservation sites that are displaying a green tag, but they ask that you only do that for a single night. If you want to stay longer and don't have a reservation, you need to go to the first come, first serve side of the park. A couple of things to note about the reservation side. First of all, there are two full hookups, true full hookups with water, electric, and sewer sites. But again, they're reservable, so they may be a little bit more difficult to get into. The other thing to mention about the reservation side of the park is that their power pedestals on those campsites offer 50 amp service, whereas on the first come first serve there are no full hookup sites, only electric and power, or electric and water, and there is only 30 and 20 amp service available on the first come first serve side. In terms of other amenities, they do have a bathhouse and a restroom facility. Those are two separate buildings. In the bathhouse, they do have two shower stalls in each side. Don't worry, I had Havla check the women's side. I didn't go barging in. And there's incredible river access here. Now, during the summer, the flow in the Rio Grande is much higher. Right now, we're here when it's a trickle because they're gearing up for agricultural season, but still gives you an opportunity to access trails along a good portion of the river. There are picnic sites there as well, so you can take your lunch down and sit next to the river and enjoy it there. And they have a very nice and very modern playground here as well for the kids. With all of these amenities, the other thing to mention is that there are a plethora of vault toilets all around the facility, so you're never too far away from that kind of service as well. Now, some things to be aware of about Percha Dam State Park. First of all, this is a smaller campground. We didn't have a problem getting in, but we're here during February. During peak seasons, it may be more difficult to find a spot in a campground of this size. Now, keep in mind though, you are very close to Riverbend Campground, which is just below Caballo Dam, and you are close to Caballo Dam State Park. Both of those are larger parks with all of the amenities you come to expect from a New Mexico State Park. All of that is within 5 miles. So finding a spot in the general area shouldn't be a problem at all. The other thing to mention about Percha Dam State Park itself is there is no actual dump site here. Again, the nearest dump site is at Caballo Dam, which is only 5 miles up the road and accessible to people who are using Percha Dam. But know that there is no actual dump site on site here at Percha Dam. And finally, need to mention that the bathhouse is truly solar, and that includes water heating. And so my tip for you is if you want a shower and you want it to be warm, take it during the middle of a sunny day. Now, some things to do around the area. First of all, you're only about 20 miles south of Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, which is home to the spaceport. So if you want to know where the little green men are planning on landing when they finally do make contact, that is the place, and you can go visit it if you like. Also, along the Rio Grande in Truth or Consequences, they have a couple of places where hot spring water comes out of the ground, and they have a couple of places where you can go and you can either spend time in a public soaking pool or even reserve a private soaking pool. So that's something to do in Truth or Consequences as well. They do have a Walmart there, which was something that we actually were confused by. If you Google search, for some reason there's a gap in the Google searches for nearby Walmarts, and it will tell you that there isn't one there, but there is a full-service Walmart there, and they actually do something really cool. When you pull into the parking lot of the Walmart in Truth or Consequences, you're going to find that it's completely covered by solar panels. The entire parking lot is just covered. There's big tall canopies, and on top of those canopies are solar power. So it was really neat to see that kind of use of the space. Even closer to Percha Dam is a cafe, the Arrey Cafe. It's only about 3 miles farther south down the road, and it is one of these places you gotta check out. It is a mom and pop shop with great food and a really neat origin story and very good prices. So check out the Arrey Cafe while you're in the area. So there you have it, guys. That is Percha Dam State Park near Arrey, New Mexico. Definitely worth the stop, especially if you want to get near some water and maybe here during the higher flow seasons. But even in the off season, this park is definitely worth a stop. If you guys like what we're doing, want to keep up with us on a regular basis, please take a moment and do all of those YouTube-y things like subscribing, sharing, and liking. That helps us out as well. If you want to keep up with us on a more spontaneous basis, you can check us out on Instagram. We are Wander with the Workmans on Instagram as well. In the meantime, you guys, we'll catch you down the road.